Good morning, beautiful. How are you today? Welcome to the Incoming Papers pre-party for the challenge. I am Suzanna Kaye. I'm just going to hop over to our Facebook group and make sure that this is posting correctly. As you hop on, let me know that you're here. Just wave hello in the chat area, say hello. Let me know where you're from. I would love to hear that. I'm double checking in the group right now. If you're on Facebook, this is in our Facebook group. It's also on our Facebook page. I see it's right there. So when you see me chatting live, then that's how you can usually find me. Good morning. There we go. And sometimes Facebook has some issues. If you still have any issues, then we also have it on YouTube. I'm going to post that as well. So here is the YouTube link if there are any issues. All right. And it cut off half of it, but that's okay. We're getting started in a second. Because I know that if there's anybody having trouble on Facebook, then that is going to be the question. Okay, so welcome. I am so glad that you're here. As you see, there's always the chat available under the live, and this is where you can ask me any questions. If you have any comments, if you're just excited, want to say hi, I would love to hear who's here. So when you hop on, let me know who you are and where you're joining me from. You'll see I already have some comments posted in that comment area. So I'd love to hear from you too. But I am Suzanna Kaye. If you don't already know me, but you probably, if you're joining me, you probably already do know me. I am the, I guess, head, the owner, the guide, the something of the Home Organizing Challenges group. And I do the Incoming Papers Challenge next week. And that's what we're talking about. We're having a pre-party today because it launches tomorrow. I see Robin is already here from the UK. Welcome, Robin. It is really early for you there, right? In the UK? I don't remember. I think it's a 4-hour time difference between Florida and London. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, you are really dedicated. I love that. Welcome. I see Rosemary's here from Sacramento, California, and Jana's here. Hey, Jana. Sheila's here from New York. Welcome. So the point of today is to celebrate the fact that tomorrow we are launching the Incoming Papers Challenge, and it will be 5 days of free challenge tasks. Every single day, I'll give you one small step, and the goal is to end up with an incoming paper system that's super easy to use, so we don't add any more papers to that paper pile, and we never lose anything important. So that is our goal. I see that we have several people. If you're here joining through the Facebook group, then sometimes I can't see your name unless you, and this is just through the Facebook group, unless you give me permission to see your name. So it says Georgia here's from the Gulf, Georgia, and anybody else from the Facebook group, like here from Massachusetts. If you do want me to be able to see your name, who's commenting, then just go to this link really quickly at the StreamYard, give access for StreamYard to be able to post your name and everything, and then I can see that too. But I see so many people are hopping on. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you are excited about the challenge that's coming up on Monday. I know I am excited. It's tomorrow. And this, I'll pull out an example. This is an example of what we will be building. Let me just pull out this part. So this, there we are, is my action file. This is my sample version. My regular version is sitting on my desk, but this is one example of an action file. And we're going to talk about some of the different options for those supplies. We'll talk even more in depth about the options. Let me put this on the desk on Monday, but I did want to give anybody a head start who's looking at supplies and wants to know more. But that is our goal. And the reason that I start with incoming papers is because if you don't funnel all of these new papers into a system, then they will keep adding to the problem. So if you do have an overwhelming number of paper piles, or if your file cabinet needs to be purged and reorganized, having more incoming papers going into it while you're trying to do that makes it so much more difficult. So I always start with making sure that the incoming papers are not adding to any piles, that they're safe, that you can find where they are, you don't miss anything important before I ever move on to sorting those paper piles or file cabinets or anything like that. So that is our focus this week, just the incoming papers and how to make sure that they are captured and you don't miss anything important with what's called the action file. And I see some people on here already have their action file. I know because I recognize some of those names like Andrea, and I recognize Mary. Hi, Mary. And Jana. I know several of you. I see very familiar names. Already have your action file. This is going to be a great reminder and refresher for you. And you can touch up your action file, make sure it's working for you, adapt anything that you need to, and support other people who are setting up their files for the first time. So there are a few things that I did want to touch on during the pre-party welcome. If you have any questions, please write in that comment area over in that chat. Let me know whatever your comments are, your questions, because I want to make sure to answer any of those for you. But here are some of the questions I hear the most often so far before we've ever even gotten started with the challenge. First off, do I have to be up at 6 a.m. for when the challenge starts? And the answer, thank goodness, is no. You do not need to be up at 6 a.m. because I'm not going to be up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is when the first email task will go out, and it will arrive in your inbox. If you don't get that email by about like 6:30 a.m. Eastern, that's Eastern time, so adjust for your time zone, then shoot me an email. My email, actually, I should put that on the screen too. If you have any problems throughout the challenge, then you can always email me and my team at hello@sparkorganizing.com. That is a perfect place to ask any questions that might not be answered on our FAQ page, which I will share with you in a minute, or if you need any help. So make sure, email me. If you do not get that first email, then that just means that maybe your email got stuck in the internet, or maybe your registration did not go through. But I want to make sure that you get all of your tasks and your daily steps. So every morning at about 6:30 or 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, you will receive an email in your inbox, and it has the step for the day. And it's just one small step towards building and using your action file to create this paper system for all of your incoming papers. And I break it down into super, super tiny steps. So even if you only have 5 or 10 minutes to do a step during the day, that should be enough. Most of these steps are under 30 minutes. I try to keep them to between 5 and 10 minutes. And Dear asks, were we supposed to put up a photo of our stationery supplies? That is a great thing to do in the group. I love it when you share the photo of all of the supplies that you've gathered for the action file. So yes, please share in the group, share your progress, share what your action file looks like as you build it. Here is the Facebook group. If you're not already in it, that's a great place to make sure to share all of your photos as you go and to encourage each other. So speaking of the Facebook group, after the 6 a.m. email, I will also post just the step portion. I won't post everything that was in the email, but just the step portion I will post into the Facebook group in the units section. So within the Facebook group, you can click on the units section. And let me see if I can share my screen here and show you. It never wants to share all of it, but let me see if I can pop over and show you the unit section. So as far as Facebook, I know that they have just redone Facebook again. So now we have the new Facebook and we have the classic Facebook. Within the new Facebook, if you're on your computer, towards the top of your screen when you're in the group, you'll see units. And when you click on units, you'll see the 5-day incoming paper challenge. All of the tasks that have been set so far, all of the important announcements, all of the video replays will be right here. All of the links to live videos will be right here in this unit section. If you're still on the classic Facebook, which they're changing things over, that's why Facebook is a little buggy right now. But on the sidebar is where you'll find the units section. When you're on your phone, the unit section is also at the top of the screen. You might need to scroll across. So hopefully that helps you find where the unit section is. I will also, let's see if I can get back. There we go. I will also be sharing this link that's on the screen, the Facebook unit section link. This is in several of your emails, but that will also take you right to the Facebook section. Now, Dorothy asks if your action file can be in a file drawer. It's not as effective in a file drawer. So the whole goal of the action file, and again, we will talk about building it more on Monday. We're going to talk about some of the best places to place it in your home on Tuesday. But to get you started off right, Dorothy, because that's a great question. This is to handle all of the mail that you walk in through the door with, all the flyers, the kids, if you have kids, all their school stuff whenever they actually go back to live school can go in here. Is to capture all of those papers as soon as they enter your home. So this would live near hopefully a shredder and a recycle box, and it will be able to handle absolutely every single paper that comes in your home. Now, if you had this in a file drawer, it will be a lot less convenient to use because then you have to go over to the file drawer, which is usually not within your main walking area when you enter the home. Plus, it's a lot harder to have to open the file drawer and put papers in if your hands are full, if there's kids screaming, dogs barking, you know when you come home and it's just chaos or you're tired. So I usually say this is going to be placed in a walking path with no lid on it. So that way it's easy to tuck the papers into the right place really quickly when you get home so they never get added to a pile or get lost. But that is a fantastic question. So there's no wrong answer for anything. If you do prefer the file drawer, you can. I just find that it does not work as well as having a container without a lid on it. Speaking of that, I wanted to talk about, I had a couple of questions about the supplies. I know that a couple of the supplies that were listed were sold out on Amazon, so I already put some replacements up there for some ideas. And I've also had the question, do I have to buy everything on that link for the supplies? And no, you do not need to buy everything. And let me actually pull that up. Sorry, but I'm flying by the seat of my pants here and we're just chatting, so I don't have everything already on the screen, but I do have most of it. So let me pull that up for you. And there we are. Let me share my screen. I think next time I might try to share my screen differently. You know, you live and learn. Working on it. There we go. Okay. So within this action files supplies, I listed a couple of different examples to hold your files. Now, when you click on this decorative desk file, that one I actually need to update today. I'm going to make a note, but when you click on any of the others, it will go to that main supply list. So there's so much that has to go into a challenge. Okay. But each of these, I tried to break it down. So first, you're going to choose something to hold your files. And you have a choice. You can do a decorative file like I have, the one on the far right, the hanging or desk file with the metal is one of the ones that I use. The one on the left, the decorative desk file, is another one that I actually use. Wall files, those are really handy if you do not have space on a flat surface to put your files, or if you want something where you can see that you have papers in the file, if you need it to be much more visual. Then you're going to pick your file folders. So the non-hanging folders are really only good if you're doing something like the wall files. They're not good for any of the hanging file folders. Within a basket or a box, it's much more difficult to just drop the papers in that way. I'm not a big fan of the non-hanging folders for the system at all. If you are using that wall file, then you can do without the folder at all if you would like. You can choose decorative or solid hanging folders for the box style if you're doing that. And then I listed some optional supplies. So these are just things that I find are super handy to have right with your action file. So that would be a little tiny stapler. You'll probably want a label maker if you want to make nice, easy to read labels. None of these are required, but I find that it's easier to quickly read your labels if they're used with a label maker. You'll want a pencil pouch so you can keep some pencils and pens and Post-its and all of that right next to your action file, and you'll probably want a shredder. Now, that being said, you do not need to get every single one of these supplies, and you also don't need to get exactly the ones that I show you. Choose what works best for you and what you enjoy. On Amazon, I also have a couple of different options for styles, but here's what you're looking for. You want a small file box. I prefer the hanging type because that way you can just open up the file and drop the papers in, drop the mail in. You don't even need to open your mail to drop it in. I don't know if I have an example of that, but there's a lot of times where I'll still have the envelope and I'll just take the whole thing, drop it in because I know exactly what it is. So the point is to be quick, and hanging file folders make it much faster. You also will use probably 10 or fewer hanging file folders. So you don't need a lot of them. We'll talk about why we do that later on in the challenge, but 10 or fewer hanging file folders is best. If you're using the wall files, 10 or fewer folders for the wall files. And then you want it to, I usually get one about 7 inches deep because you don't want this to take up a whole lot of space. We don't want one of those massive file boxes. That'll just really drive you crazy because it'll take up way too large of a footprint. So the size of a hanging file folder, about 7 inches deep. And I like to make sure that there's one without a top because the lid, some of them come with the lid. I just put the lid right underneath or behind it. So that way I don't have to have the lid on it. But having it where I can just toss things in without struggling with a lid makes it much more likely that the things will get right in here. And then as far as the pencil pouch and everything, we'll talk about how it gets set up, but usually I just slide it into the front or into the front file folder and you're good to go. Like I mentioned, I like a shredder and a recycle bin right near this, if at all possible. We'll talk about some options on Monday. I had to think about that. Monday. We'll talk about more options for that. But that's it. So you do not have to pick exactly the supplies that I showed you. Those are just there to give you an idea of some things that I've found work really well for this. Now let's see any more questions. Good morning. I see we've got Marcy and Melanie, and Indira says, personalize it. Yes, personalize these things for you. Any advice that I give you does not have to be taken, okay? So everything that I share are just things that I found have worked for me, have worked for the clients that I've worked with over the past 12 plus years. This does not mean that you have to do it exactly the way that I do it. If it's something that you strongly don't want to do, then don't. Personalize things. If you like a different style, go for it. And I will always try to tell you the reason why behind some things, such as I don't use a file drawer, and I try to tell you why. So that way you can make an informed decision for yourself. Welcome. And also, if you're joining from Facebook, I see we have, howdy, I'm a Boomer Sooner alum from Louisiana. Welcome. Now, if you're joining from the Facebook group and you want me to be able to see your name with your comment, Facebook right now, when groups, they have made it a little bit difficult. So if you go to this link and give permission for me to be able to see your name, then that will help me out a lot as you have these comments. I see good morning from Eureka. Welcome. Eureka is actually my favorite TV show. Well, one of my favorites recently. I don't know if you've seen that TV show, but I'm a bit of a sci-fi nerd. I love it. So welcome. All right, some other questions that I have heard. Oh, here's a really good one that I heard earlier this morning. I had a question: if I miss a task or I fall behind, or if for some reason you missed the video, then what do you do? That is not a problem at all. I have the Facebook units, and the Facebook units section will show you all of the most recent steps, all the most recent videos that have posted, and all the most recent announcements. Also, if you're getting the emails, you will still get the email. Even if you can't complete it that day, you can save it and complete it when you get a chance. So there's no falling behind in this challenge. Yes, we're doing things one day at a time throughout the 5 days, but if you have a day where you're super busy, then save that task for the next day. There is absolutely no falling behind with this. And the whole point is, if you get moving forward in any small step, then that is a success. So I don't want you to ever guilt yourself into feeling like you are not keeping up, because you are doing great. Also, use the Facebook group is a great place to just get that encouragement and motivation. And it's really fun to pop over to that group and just check in and encourage each other and get encouragement. If you're struggling, post that you're struggling, and we are all here to help you. Now, I told you about the Facebook units section. Another thing that I'm going to share with you in a second is the schedule page, which is awesome. Okay, Mary says, I need guidance on how to keep up this system once it's set up. I have a tendency to set up good systems and then not keep them up. Maintenance help needed. Not a problem, Mary. All of Friday is focused on how to maintain this. And throughout the 5 days, I'll probably give little tiny tips on ways to make it easier to set up so that it's easier to maintain. But on Friday, Mary, is your day, because that is our main focus on how to make this super easy to maintain. And I have some really good tricks for this that I've gathered throughout the years. Now, Nancy asks, I did not get my task for the day. That's because today is Sunday, so we've not started yet. Your first task will show up in your email on Monday morning. And if you don't get it Monday morning, email me at hello@sparkorganizing.com. It will be sent out at 6 a.m. Eastern. So if you don't get it by about 6:30 or 7 a.m. Eastern, then shoot me an email and I will make sure to figure out why your email did not go through. Another thing that I want to share with you really quickly, I'm going to share my screen again in order to do this. All right, is I have set up a schedule page. So the schedule page, the link is at the bottom here. I will also share this as soon as this live is done. I will share this as a post in the Facebook group, and in your emails, you will get a link to this too. But this is our schedule for the challenge. So day 1 is officially tomorrow. That's Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Like I mentioned, your first step of the challenge will be emailed to you. And that first step, it'll have a little overview of what to expect this week, but we will hop right in with talking even more in depth about the supplies, how to personalize it for yourself, how to make some supply choices for the action file, and exactly what you need to get yourself going. Then on Monday, we will have another live video like this one, and it will be at 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure whatever your time zone is to adjust for your time zone, but we will be talking more in depth about, how to make those personalization choices. And if you have any questions about your supplies or if something will work for you or how to adapt it, this is your day, because that live session, I will be answering all of those questions that have come in. On day 2, that's Tuesday, again, 6 a.m. Eastern, you will get your email with your step for the day. And at 12 p.m. Eastern time, you will receive an email with the video for the day. This one won't be live. This one will be pre-recorded, so you can watch it anytime that day when you want to. Just click the link in the email. Day 3 is Wednesday, again, 6 a.m. Eastern time. You'll get the email and you will have another live session. This time it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. There will be a live session with me to answer any questions, to go over the task for the day, and make sure that you are all getting exactly what you need. Thursday, again, 6 a.m. Eastern, you'll get that email with the small step for the day. And then at 12 p.m. Eastern, I'll send out another pre-recorded video. So that one, again, not live. You just click on it and you can watch the video. And then Friday is our last official day of the challenge. So finally at 6 a.m. again, Eastern time, you will get an email with your small step for the day. And like I mentioned to Mary, that's your maintenance step. We're going to talk about how to make sure that this works and keep it up and get past any of those blocks and frustrations. And then we have our final live session, just like this one, at 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you miss any of these things, then all of the videos and all of the steps, like I mentioned, are posted in the units section each day of the Facebook group. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. If you lost your email, that's okay. Also, this challenge schedule page, I will post this on Facebook and share that with you as well. Now, I see a question, will the live sessions be available for viewing later? Absolutely. So in the Facebook unit section, you will see the replay right afterwards. You can also always view the videos on YouTube as they're released. They're also on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. And any of those links to the live, after it's been live, those links will go to the recording. So here's the YouTube channel link, SuzannaKaye.live/YouTube-channel. So you can catch all the videos there. But also, if you ever click a link to a video that was live, if the live is already done, then it will take you to the replay. So I've tried to make it super easy for you. I have another question. Hi, can I still sign up? Please, absolutely. I would love that. You can sign up at myhomechallenges.live/join-the-challenge. So I'd love to have you join me. That will be fantastic. And if you need anything, you know where to reach me. So like I mentioned, the Facebook group, I will post the schedule. On the schedule page, it will have the links to the videos for each day as well. So that schedule page will be really helpful for you to keep all of your links in one place, because it will show you the schedule for the day and then the link to the video. So if it's a live video, that link will take you to a not started yet page until we go live. Once we go live, it'll take you to the live. Once the live is done, it will take you to the replay. So you've got everything right there. And let's see, Patricia says, I don't know the name of the Facebook page. That's a really great question. It's called the Home Organizing Challenges Group with Suzanna Kaye. Let me write that down. I have actually, here is the link to the group, but let me also type this. I don't know about you, but I know I'm a visual person. So if I don't see it written, then I will forget it. But if you're searching Facebook for the groups, it's called Home Organizing Challenges with Suzanna Kaye. And that's where you will find all of this information. Let's see. Oh, Robin says, all sounds great. Nothing better than getting your paperwork in order. Good luck to everyone involved in the challenge. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Robin. That's awesome. I love all of you guys. You're so supportive. You guys are the best group of people I think I've ever met. And it just makes me so happy. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments section. As I mentioned, I'm here to answer questions throughout the week in any of those lives. You can also post any questions in that Facebook group. That Facebook group is kind of like our little community hub. It's our little campfire, and we can talk and we can ask questions. We can share funny memes that have to do with organizing. I do ask, stay on topic and don't post links to other challenges or programs going on right now, because we don't want to overwhelm people with additional challenges and programs to add on to what they're already doing. I do like to try to stay focused on the one thing that we're really working on. But if it has to do with organizing or paper questions or asking for support through this process, anything like that, encouraging others, I love all of those kinds of posts. And you guys are already so good at doing those that I can't wait to see what you do during the challenge. Another thing I did want to share that I set up for you is a FAQ page. And this is something I'm building as we go. But the FAQ page, let me see if I can pull up the actual FAQ page for you. The FAQ page is a great place to find answers to questions that others have probably already had. So if I share this, let's see. There we go. So here is the FAQ page, and you can see the link in the top bar possibly right now, but I will share that on screen in a minute, and it's also posted in the Facebook group. But when you go to this page, feel free, if you see your question, when you click on the little arrow, it will expand the question with the answer. So I am adding more and more to this page as we go. This is also a great place if you've not registered yet. Feel free, go there to register. But that is my favorite spot to be able to answer all of those questions. If your question is not there, it also shows you how to email me to add a question and answer to that FAQ page so I can make it better and better for everybody. Let's see. Will you please send the links to the Facebook page and YouTube info? Not very familiar with Facebook and not very techie. Thank you, Suzanne. Absolutely, Margaret. Can you do me a favor, Margaret? Because I don't want you to post your email in the comments because I don't want everybody to know your email address. But can you shoot me an email asking me that at this email address, and that way I can make sure to get that to you. All right? Because I don't know your email address. Facebook does not share that with me. So if you will shoot me an email with that request, I will absolutely share that with you. And I do try to also include all of these links in the emails throughout the week. I try not to make those emails super long though. So I don't post everything in every email because that might drive people crazy, but that FAQ page will also be a great place to find those links. And I'm making a note to myself to add the links to the FAQ page too. That's a great idea. Thank you, Margaret. Perfect. If anybody has any other questions, let me know. So this week is going to be so much fun though. Each of these challenges are an absolute blast, and the best way to participate in those challenges and to make them absolutely as fun as possible is to go to the Home Organizing Challenges page on Facebook. Because when we're communicating and we're sharing and we're laughing together and encouraging each other, that makes it so much more fun. Whether you comment or whether you just like to be what they call a lurker, which I am sometimes, I admit. If you want to be a lurker and just watch and, like and heart things, it doesn't matter. That is a really fun way to make this challenge even more exciting and even more beneficial. So hop over to the Facebook page, the Home Organizing Challenges page, and please watch, like, comment. I will let you know, Facebook will show more of the posts from the group page in your newsfeed if you do hit the like and the love button, and especially if you comment or post in the group. So if you do want to see those posts more often without having to remember to go to the page, make sure to interact, and that will tell Facebook that you're actually interested. Yes. So Indira says, when I'm looking at Facebook, it gets confusing when things are posted not relating to yours. It does. And that is why, let me show you on my Facebook page. Actually, let me show you on the slide. That's why the unit section is set up in the group. So in the group, the unit section, let me pull up this tab again. If you're on the computer, then in the new Facebook at the top of the screen, Indira, click on units, or if you're using the classic Facebook, it'll look like this. On the left-hand side, you'll click on the word units and find the 5-day incoming paper challenge section. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Oops, as I move things instead. But hopefully you can see my mouse as it moves, but you'll find units, and then you'll find the 5-day incoming paper challenge section in the unit section. So it'll be there. And that is the best way to cut through the clutter and find just what you need. Because yes, I do agree, on Facebook, it can get really cluttered and overwhelming if you're trying to find specific information. So that is why I put all of that in the unit section for you. And the unit section only has the posts specifically from me about the challenge. So you don't have to worry about filtering through everything. So great question. You're so welcome, Sheila. I absolutely love each of you so much. You're going to do amazing with this challenge. It's going to be so much fun. Please, throughout the week, post in that Facebook group so I know that you're watching and I know how you're doing. That's what gets me going, is just seeing all of your successes, hearing your questions, even when you're struggling. I love to just help you get past whatever you're struggling with. I am here for you the whole time. So is my team. You will see Stephanie. Stephanie Cooper is in the group, and she is one of my community managers, and she's amazing, the biggest heart that you would ever meet. So you'll see her too. Yeah, I just hope to see all of you in the group. I see Rachel asked, how do you invite your friends? And yay, I would love to have your friends join. You can share this link with them. So the myhomechallenges.live/join the challenge with a dash in between each. That is the best way to invite friends. And please invite anybody who you feel would be a good fit in this group. Basically, it's all of those women and those open-minded men who don't mind being called a lady once in a while, because I do talk to my ladies. We are mostly women. But we have some amazing men in the group too. Anybody who is looking to make a big change in their papers and can come with a positive attitude and a supportive heart. That's the goal. The one thing about the group that I love and that I really, really am strict about is there's no judgment in our private group. Our group is a safe place. You can post photos of things that you might not even ever share with your friends or your family, and we all get it. We will all be there to rally behind you. I've seen so many posts of people's homes with, the piles of papers or the overwhelming clutter. And I love those posts because it gives an opportunity for all of us to not feel alone and also to rally behind each other. So there's never any judgment in our group, and there's never any negative comments about each other in our group. And if I ever find it, then it's a one warning and you're out type of a deal, because that is sacred. So I want you to feel open to share anything that you want in the group, and anybody that you feel is a good fit and that would benefit from this challenge, please, please share this challenge with them. It is so much fun. Well, I think that I answered all the questions. You have all been absolutely amazing. Carrie says, thank you, Suzanna. Can't wait to get all of my paperwork organized, and this will help keep current papers from getting lost in the shuffle. It does. It absolutely does. You're so welcome, Rachel. Lisa, thanks for the preview. Can't wait to start. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. It's going to be so much fun. If you have any other questions that you have coming up, then you can email me. You can post them in the group. Myself and Stephanie, we're both watching the group pretty consistently, and we do try to get you answers as fast as we possibly can. If you have any troubles with getting an email, shoot me an email at hello@sparkorganizing.com, and Stephanie or I will be able to help you out. But just know there's no falling behind in this challenge. You can absolutely do it. If you miss anything, go to the Facebook unit section within the group and support each other and just have fun, because that's what this is about. I love you all so much. I look forward to talking to you soon. You're so welcome. I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day, and woot, woot. We start tomorrow on Monday. See you in the morning. Bye.